Dan McTeague is with us. He is the president and founder of Canadians for Affordable Energy. So, Dan, we've heard from the Alberta Premier today, okay? We heard from Frank Stronach about the out-of-control and investment-killing size of federal bureaucracy. We just heard from the Montreal Economic Institute that Canada is a laggard in productivity within the G7. We're number 6. How do you put this together?
Well, I put it together by dereliction of responsibility. It's a government that is based on virtue signaling and not taking into account the realities of this nation, not just the manufacturing side, but the diversity of energy. And, I can speak at length about energy, but I think the reality here is that we have a government in free fall that doesn't know how to manage in good times, reckless in good times, and, of course, irresponsible in difficult times. If you're going to look at a slowing global economy and a slowing Canadian economy, the last thing you want to do is to create an environment where you say, despite your country having, high inflation and a nation that is looking at a significant upsurge in people coming to the country without the ability to look after them, and you further that by compounding the inflationary effect that we're seeing that is long-lasting. It looks like it's endemic. It's going to last more than just the wishful thinking and those out there who believe everything's going fine. I think we have a government that's ill-equipped to handle these tough decisions and is worse, making its ideological points of view far more strident and divisive than anything I've seen from any government in all of my time on this planet. I think at the end of the day, it isn't just Western provinces that are concerned about what Mr. Guilbeault has done, which is, of course, several announcements, just transition, past plastics ban, 2-3 carbon taxes, regulations and caps on emissions, now attacking the electricity industry. What happens, Roy, in a scenario where you have provinces like Nova Scotia and the Maritimes, which are being completely ignored, their plight, the plight of consumers? Nova Scotia, of course, is the same boat as Alberta. They use fossil fuels. They haven't made the conversion. They can't make the conversion, and the conversion isn't there. What happens when the federal government runs out of money and can't subsidize the move to electrification in other provinces? And that's, I think, the issue that no one wants to talk about. You do.
Well, I'll tell you what happens. It's simple. Dan, come on. Professor Thierry Bro is with us from Sciences Po University in Paris. And let me just remind you what he is, all right? Former official with the French Ministry of Economy, Finance and Industry, represented France on oil markets and advised on emergency issues at the International Energy Agency and the European Commission. So he's a credible guy. He's reminded us that French, or at least European governments, including his own, said exactly the same things that Guilbeault is saying. And they're in a massive amount of trouble. He reminded us that they've now had to spend $1 trillion at least in subsidies in order to keep the price affordable for consumers for energy. And he said, so when we have other needs coming up in the not too distant future, we're just not going to be able to afford them because we've spent the money on the subsidies for the energy which we never should have compromised in the first place.
There you go.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, and France is now, of course, going to be burning coal, as is Germany, lignite. And Canada could be very well find itself in this same boat. I don't know, and I saw Thomas Mulcair yesterday, the former NDP leader, saying that the wedge issue in the next campaign is climate.
I'm sorry, Dan. You've got to do this in 20 seconds. My fault. Go.
No, listen, I think we are delusional if we continue to ignore reality. Europe did so to massive negative consequences. Canada's going down the same road. We've only got 25 months. Unfortunately, this government will do more damage. Sooner or later, Canadians wake up and smell the coffee. It's time for these policies to go along with their advocates.